What's happening, fellas? How's it all going tonight? I got a hankering for the Budget Water Show down here in South Jersey.
You're not even gonna hear me try to give a Jersey accent. That's not happening. You're the king of accents, Joe. Joe, it's a wonder you missed your calling. You should have been like a voice actor or something. Like that's really where you should hang your hat. Is on you're a man of many voices.
I am. I when I read books to my kids, I like to change voices on them or like we talked about it a few weeks ago, change your word to like poopy or something. And so like last night I was reading to them. I'll give you I'll read last week's today in history. I'll say something like this. The first episode of the Muppet Show, which was co-created by Jim Henson, aired and the TV series became hugely popular.
Okay.
For a kiss the puppet.
You know what you sound like right now? Like a third or fourth grader with a slight speech impediment that's trying to be British but has kind of a southern accent. Does that make sense?
Well, it's funny because a lot of kids growing up said I sounded like I was from Alabama.
Oh.
They would be like, "If I'm Alabama," like the way I don't know why. I guess some ways I would pronounce words. I guess I don't know.
Look, Pat, everybody's Philly accent sucks compared to yours. I mean, that's when I felt like I finally heard the truest of true Philly accents. I thought Joe. I mean, when I heard Joe speak for one of the first times in his videos, I was like, "Who is this?" Like Philly Jersey clown. And then I was like, "Okay, all right," but this guy Pat. He is like Mr. like Philly. I mean, it was something I'd never heard before. But that's why you got to get back to making videos, Pat. We need to hear your voice more, and Joe needs more voiceover material.
Yeah, I do. I need to get back into the voiceover game. I think a lot of people miss. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but I really think YouTube's slow because of me this year. I'm not. I'm not a prominent figure in the lawn care community this year, you know?
What's up, y'all, in the chat?
I love going down on the bayou. How do you say it? Bayou?
The bayou.
Bayou?
Man, you said someone said you sound like you're from Bama. Man, what a tough. I've never rooted for Bama in my life. But if you're from Arkansas and when you think about the Arkansas-Texas rivalries of the old Southwest Conference, you don't ever root for Texas. Like it doesn't matter who Texas is playing, you're rooting against them. And that was a tough one to watch the other night. And you hate to be watching or wanting Alabama to succeed in football again, but gosh, the last thing we need with Texas entering in the SEC next year is Texas starting to come along, because that just makes our recruiting that much more difficult.
Fuck. All I gotta say is screw Bama. Like, I can't stand Nick Saban's smug face anymore. And when he gets pissed off on the sidelines, like he actually gives a shit. That guy's making so much money.
Well, apparently
he
he just bought like some massive mansion in Florida.
Of course.
So, and a lot of people are speculating, if you buy a house in Florida, what might that mean? That the end is near? But there's so many clowns out there already saying that Bama needs to go ahead and give Prime the job offer now. Give it to Dion now. I mean, could they possibly in the future? Maybe, I don't know, but not right now. Hey Pat, the feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual about that. Oh man, see, Bill's right there on the same page with you, Joe. You're right. We need the lawn care community needs a new heartbeat. It's beating at a different pace right now.
I guess I'll have to pick my victim this week and do something.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's a soft community, real soft. You say something that's has anything close to a dramatic or you're taking shots at somebody effect, then you are going to have people tailing and running the other direction. Hey, 17 seconds, Joe, and then we're going to start this episode. You got any final words here in our pre-scalp? The pre-scalp is the best lawn care tip you've never heard and should never hear again. What you got, Joe? 5, 4.
Fuck Bama.
All right, that's where we rock and roll, y'all. That's where we rock and roll for guess what? It's a new episode of the Budget Wooder Show. Here again on another lovely, I can say Tuesday night now, Joe, because we were just talking before we came on live that just a few weeks ago I could look out the window and it was still daylight outside, but the days are getting shorter and shorter. The temperatures are getting cooler and cooler. That can only mean one thing. Fall is, should we even say that fall's here, Joe? Is it here yet?
No, not with this weather. I mean, hopefully by the weekend, it's going to feel more like fall here. We're supposed to get a lot of rain on Thursday, and then the temperatures are going to drop. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that Saturday is going to be nice. Saturday is the big day that I've been waiting for all summer.
Ooh.
It's the craft show.
And you don't want it hot on a craft show day. You want it to feel. You want a little bit of a brisk nice air and breeze.
Yeah, as of right now, it looks really beautiful. Like low, like I would say it's like mid 70s, high 70s. So it'll be nice. It's going to be nice. Not too hot, not too warm. So
well, it's just
it'll be good.
What, just like a week or two ago, you were hanging out in the 70s and we were in like the mid 90s. We've switched places. It only got to like 71 degrees today. The lows at night are in the 50s now. We're barely supposed to get into the 80s over the next like several days. So highs in the upper 70s, low 80s, lows at night in the 50s and 60s. And we've had this amazing pattern of a half an inch of rain about every 3 or 4 days. We'll get a half an inch of rain, a few days dry, another half an inch of rain. It has been like, it's, as far as Bermuda grass goes, it's not been the ideal weather. But if you're ready for your season to start slowing down like I am, we have hit those conditions with drier temperatures, less humidity, or cooler temperatures, less humidity, and just a little bit of rain with shorter daytime hours. Man, you can hear the brakes on the Bermuda grass kind of getting pushed. They're not like fully screeching yet, but they're starting to get pushed. Hey, a little bit of administrative business before we keep going. Hey, we appreciate you being here. The Budget Wooder Show, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central, every Tuesday night now, we'll say. We're here every Tuesday unless we tell you otherwise, and that's where I need to tell you otherwise. We told you last week we won't be here next week. What is next week, Joe? It's the 19th. And then we're not here next week. It's all my fault. You can throw you could spit the spitballs at me and throw the punches at me. I've got parent-teacher conferences next week at work, so I will not be able to make it next Tuesday evening. And as luck would have it, I hate to break this to you right away, but we won't be here 2 weeks from now either because my wife is also in education. She is a teacher in the same district that I am in, and they stagger upper level grades and elementary schools. So I've got parent-teacher conferences next week. She is the following week, and that puts me on dad duty, running kids all around town after school, getting supper and all that stuff. And there's no way I can swing it 2 weeks from now. So just be prepared. No show the next 2 weeks. That will bring us back around to the first part of October. And since we'll have missed the last show of the month for our giveaway, that will be the first show of the month next year. We're not going to skip that, Joe. We're not going to skip that. We give something away, a gift card to Home Depot or Lowe's every month, so we will not leave that out on you. All right. Did we have anything else of note that needed to be shared tonight, Joe? Are you ready to hit your this day in history?
So today in history, little country music here. So I'm going to do my best here. Back in 2013, country music legend Johnny Cash, whose craggedy baritone, simple poetics, hard-won integrity, and advocacy of the fuck this. He died back in 2003, age of 71.
Hey,
Johnny Cash.
Do you know where Johnny Cash is from, Joe?
Probably Arkansas.
He is from Arkansas. He is from the great state,
Arkansas,
the old natural state of Arkansas. He died in 2003. Really? That's that was my high school graduation year. I didn't grow up. I was not a huge Johnny Cash fan till I really got much older. It was kind of like the trendy, cool thing to do back in the day if you were from Arkansas to listen to Johnny Cash. And I just, as a
Were
kid,
you
I
a
didn't
part?
get it. But as I got older, I have a lot more appreciation for it. Oh, man, Joe. Did you watch Monday Night Football last night?
I did.
Man,
I didn't watch all of it, but I did. I think I tuned in right after what happened to number 8. But yeah, it was a interesting game to say the least.
so we're not talking about sports here, but it is tied to sports. But if we ever get an opportunity to tie sports to grass, we're going to take advantage of it. And this week we had a sponsor knocking on our door that probably needed a little. What would you say, Joe? Not necessarily redemption, but needed his voice to be heard in a positive light after the events of February of 2023, otherwise known as Super Bowl Sunday. Um, and he reached back out to us and said, "We've got to do something about this, Joe." And he's not the only one. You've got NFL players speaking up about last night's tragic events. Sad deal.
Yeah, the sod asser. He's a guy. He's an asshole. Because
Joe,
you know,
Joe's on one tonight.
I am on one tonight. Because our 92 percenters out there, they hate sports, but sports has a lot to do with grass, believe it or not. And I think about all of us watch some sort of sports. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers last night on the artificial turf there at MetLife Stadium, he tore his Achilles and he's out for the season. And who knows? That might be the end of his career. I
So
mean, at his age, I mean, I don't know how you're going to come back
what is
from
it? He's
that.
39. Um, it was the fourth play of the game, correct? And
Yep.
I don't know who's number 69 on the Packers. A former teammate.
Some Yeah, former teammate pretty much just called out the artificial turf. I mean, it honestly is bullshit because they literally ripped up MetLife Field during the summertime when the Premier League was here for their summer their summer preseason games. And because there's I've talked about it a million times,
Yeah, they
those
bend over
Premier League.
backwards for the soccer players if that's what
Yeah,
they
the
want.
soccer
But
player like Lionel Messi right now, he will not play at an MLS stadium that has artificial turf. There's already been talks of I think it's like Atlanta. They play Atlanta later on, and they play in their dome, and it's all turf, just like MetLife. And there's already been talks of what that he's probably not going to play. And Atlanta's like, we're not going to rip up our field just for a player, but you will when the Premier League team comes in, because they don't want to play on artificial turf. And I don't blame them. I mean, I think it's. I was in marching band in high school, and we have artificial turf.
what instrument did you
Yeah,
play, Joe?
trumpet.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah,
All
and
right. I didn't take you as a trumpeter.
yeah, my freshman year we had grass field, and then it cost us. It cost the county. I think it was like $1 million or $2 million to get artificial turf on our main stadium, and then our practice field had it as well. But it just those little balls, those little black balls, you could see them being ripped up a little bit behind his shoes. There, you always see that on the artificial turf, the little black balls, and
It's
it's
like a
just
little infill that they have to put in there, right?
yeah, exactly, yeah.
And of course,
It's
he
like
played on.
dirt in a way.
This is his first. I mean, he played on natural grass on Lambeau Field,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
it now, of course, he played on some turf in some stadiums at away games, but I wonder how difficult it is for him at his age and
Well,
after such a long career to.
what cracks me up about some of these teams is they'll play their games on the artificial turf, but they'll practice on grass.
Yeah, I don't get
It's
it.
like what's
But he,
the only and the only way for this to change is like the one person said they need to boycott, but they're not going to do that because the NFL players are not going to give up a salary for not playing on refusing to play on the field because it has artificial turf. They're not going to do that. There's too much money involved on both parties, the players and the owners.
I mean,
It's just not going to
it's
happen.
just crazy because I think he knew right away that his Achilles snapped, And I was listening to
Yeah.
sports talk radio on the way to school this morning. Somebody said, "Could it get more jets than that?" Like they said, apparently the stadium was just electric before, like as Aaron Rodgers and the team took the field. I mean, they put all this money in this season into him. Apparently, they've got a pretty good cast of characters around him. And on the fourth play of the season, with so much hype surrounding what's to come, it all just deflates in a matter of minutes. So
Yeah, it was the season highlights was him running out in the field with the flag
because
last night.
he tried to like get up and he was just like, no, screw this, I'm down.
He knew he knew it sucks, but hey, who knows? Maybe Zach Wilson will come in and he'll be the next coming of Tom Brady. You know, who knows?
Who knows? But I tell you what, Joe, they need to make a change. It sounds like on that. I've heard lots of other players speaking up on this issue. But when it comes to making changes, you know what else you can do? You can make humongous changes in your lawn. And Joe, tonight, our Friends Appreciation post, this is a guy that has made massive changes in his yard over, gosh, really the last couple of years since becoming a homeowner in, if I recall correctly, 2016. And Joe, I don't know, I think you could probably relate to this. He said he really started taking interest in his lawn and wanting to make changes in his lawn and take it from really a piece of garbage to something not just himself, but his family, especially his kids, could enjoy. And when he started having kids, he said, you know what? It's time I do something. And I tell you what, man, the pictures he has sent us, he has done something about it. And I learned something new from this, Joe. This is Jared that's been hanging out in the chat and has been hanging out on some of my videos, and we've been going back and forth through email. He is from Southeast Washington, okay? And when you hear Southeastern Washington State, not Washington, D.C., Washington State, what type of grass immediately comes to mind?
I thought you were going to say, what do you think of Washington, East Washington?
Southeast Washington.
Not Portland and Demron City, but yeah, I think of like, I don't know, ryegrass or something.
Okay, John L. saying rye, BFC saying cool season. I think if we polled our audience, I would say that 95% or more of us would automatically go straight to cool season grass. But we would all be wrong, okay? Jared has given me a little bit of a background about the area in which he is located. And believe it or not, where he is at in Southeast Washington is a very arid, dry, desert-like climate. He says almost more like Utah and Arizona, where the western side of the state is more like Pacific Northwest, what you would think of for that region of the country. Now, he did tell me that a lot of folks there do have cool season grass. So you would be correct if you said cool season, but you would be incorrect if you thought that that's what he has in his lawn, because he also tells me that there is a lot of wild common Bermuda there. And I have to admit, when he sent us these pictures, and especially one we'll get to in a second of kind of a close-up of one of the stolons that he took a picture of, it just looks weird to me. That's about the only way I can put it. But what doesn't look weird to me is what he has done to his yard beginning in around, correct me if I'm wrong, Jared, I'm going off my memory here, around 2016. Okay? This first...
But you didn't get all that from the Bible that he sent you? Man, come on.
It is weird. It's a fact. No, Jared is like me. I'm very long-winded, and when I type things, I get very long-winded typing. So I totally get Jared. But look at the changes he has made in his yard. Okay?
Wow.
He moved into this home in 2016. He started caring for it, really caring for it this season. I mean, look at just what a little TLC, not like going above and beyond and over the top, buying all the products and doing everything imaginable, but just sticking with some basics and just actually doing something. I think there's this misconception sometimes that you've got to be doing everything to see really stellar results, but you really don't have to. And one thing I've gathered from Jared from these our conversations is he kind of fell into the trap without knowing what grass type he had. Is he started going on YouTube and watching a lot of videos and really just kind of following every step he heard about. You know, from dethatching to overseeding to, I mean, just anything, you name it, without really knowing what type of grass he was working with. And you hear me say in videos all the time, you really got to know what you're beginning with to really know where you need to go from that point. And a little more research, a little more deep diving into lawn care, and he realized, you know what? I've got more just regular wild common Bermuda in my lawn than I do anything else. And he made the decision that that's the direction he was going to start going and treating it that way. So look at this. I mean, that is just, I mean, pretty dismal on top. What you say, Joe?
Yeah, it looks really bad. I guess he watched the top 10, how to overseed your lawn, the 4 steps you need for the successful overseed, the how do you dethatch through your lawn videos, the I'm trying to think what other videos are out there, the got to get this grass seed video, or, you got to use that liquid aeration during seeding video, or,
But
I'm just thinking of all the videos right now that are on lawn care that just like regurgitate every year. And, someone just put out the 4 steps of a successful overseed. And don't get me wrong, I've done that too, but it's pretty stupid in my opinion. But, it's just so sick. I'm just so sick of watching some of these videos anymore. It's just like, I'm just like,
we're getting Joe in his old form tonight. Joe, I like it. But no, look, this has been. I learned something new every day. I had a 7th grader show me how to do something in Google Drive today that I had thought I was doing it a very simple way, and he showed me how to make it even easier. And little would I have ever imagined that you could have wild Bermuda grass up in Washington State. But what Jared has done with it is really, really impressive. And, he did it for his kids. I think that's what's really the coolest thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not 4 steps. It's 3 simple steps. My bad. I'm so sorry, guys. It's 3 simple steps to get a thick green lawn with overseeding, even in the shade.
You see, everybody's loving old Joe. They want old Joe back. Jared saying that lots of stuff he shouldn't have done, but he will say he was glad he learned some new basics. Look, sometimes lawn care, too many people want to do all the right things and it turn out perfectly from step number 1. But the best way to learn is really trial and error and making mistakes.
Did he watch the 7 dethatching mistakes that could ruin your lawn?
Joe.
Because that video is riveting. Joe. Let me tell you, that video is. He probably also watched this video, how to easily fix brown patches in your lawn.
Do you have a list of hit piece videos tonight that you just have sitting right there next to you? And
Nah, I'm just Googling, or not Googling, but I'm just YouTubing the biggest people out there, biggest assholes out there. But yeah,
Joe's gonna get the Budget Wooders show canceled all tonight. Hey, let me show you some more pictures that Jared sent. But what I really like about Jared's story, not only is it something new that I learned, but he's doing this for his kids. And sometimes I wonder, you hear a lot of people in the lawn care community and space say, they always act like they do it for their kids, but do they really? Or is it really like a pissing contest amongst middle-aged men? Are they really doing it for their kids?
And community.
What?
Community. That's hilarious.
Community. But Jared did do it for his kids, and look at these pictures of their backyard. I mean, where your kids playing most of the time, they're playing in the backyard. And without a doubt, that lawn there on the right, Jared, was not a kid-friendly lawn. I mean, he's telling me that he did this really over the last year. And that's really all it takes for people that don't really know a whole lot about lawn care, have never really invested the time and effort into it. all you really got to do is get out in the lawn and start doing something. You start mowing it regularly, you start watering it properly, throw down a little bit of fertilizer, and I promise you, just those simple steps go a long way. You don't have to be
3 simple steps. 3 simple steps. That's it.
you don't have to be a sucker in the lawn care community. There's one born every day, and this hobby is full of suckers. You don't have to be a sucker. Whew. Don't let them fool you into thinking that the only way you're going to get rid of that fungus is if you buy that product at that link. That the only way you're going to accomplish your goals and have a golf course academy lawn is by buying every single product known to man. You don't have to be a sucker.
Have a rock in your lawn.
You just got to do the basics. Don't fall into the traps. Jared is a prime example of following the basics of lawn care, and look at what he's been able to transform his lawn from to in just a matter of really about a year or so. Okay? And was he an expert going into this? No. Did he make mistakes? Absolutely. But he has come a long way, and for that, we salute you, Jared. Very well done. Very well done. And hey, I want to say this too. I want to answer a couple questions that Jared has asked me before I show you a little bit about what this his yard looks like. It really is mind-boggling to me. And maybe we're way off, Jared, because this wild Bermuda is something I've never seen Bermuda look like before. But Jared, you asked me a few questions in your email that I want to address, and I think this will apply to some other folks out there. Jared asked me, hey, what about sand leveling? Is it too late in the year for that? What about getting some hybrid plugs and plugging my lawn with those? What about overseeding my common Bermuda with Bermuda? What about all these things that for Bermuda grass, perhaps you might want to do them, leveling, since you have common Bermuda? Sure, you could overseed it with a store-bought common Bermuda. Since you don't have hybrid, it's really not going to make much of a difference. Plugging, all these kinds of questions should be saved for next season. Now, I've mentioned it to you before, Jared. I can only speak for my area, but temperatures are on the downhill trend. Cooler nights, less daylight hours. We're hitting that point where you're just not going to have warm enough temperatures for Bermuda to really germinate and establish before the winter. You're not going to have warm enough temperatures if you did a sand leveling for that Bermuda lawn to recover after that. And plugging right now, you know, you can sod Bermuda in the middle of winter when it's dormant. I suppose you could put some plugs in the ground, but for any of these tasks, if you got Bermuda grass and you're starting to see your temperatures dip down into the 50s and 60s at night and cooler and daytime highs only in the 70s and up into the low 80s, that's all indication to say your season is about to wrap up. Now, it will vary from one part of the country to the next. But if it were me and I was thinking about all those chores in the lawn, I wouldn't start thinking about them again until next spring. Okay? And not to mention, you've had a long season already. Why don't you kick the boots off, like enjoy the off season, football season's rocking and rolling, and take a break. That's what my recommendation would be. And that's a recommendation where I'm not going to give you a link, Jared. Not going to give you a link. Good. Jared, thank you so much for sharing all your pictures with us. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And also, thank you for all the questions. If you are someone else out there that has pictures, questions, the good, the bad, whatever, how can they get in touch with us, Joe? What can they do to send us their details?
They cannot reach out to the other ones out there on Instagram that love to just show off their big equipment and, you know, their stupid shit in their lawn. But you can email us at mybudgetlawn@gmail.com, or you can Instagram me. You can DM me at Waterboy Productions, just like you see in the chat. That's the easiest way to do it. And, you know, we're not going to recommend, you know, Ventrac mowers or, you know, show off stupid mowers in our lawn like a lot of us other ones out there do, because who's going to spend $20,000 on a stupid piece of equipment? or rent one, or lay in their yard with a stupid turf
Joe,
grass suit.
I simply asked you how can people reach out to us now.
Sorry, what? Sorry, I
How
got
can
off track there.
how can they send us pictures, Joe?
My budget, my Jesus, my budget lawn at gmail.com or DM me on Instagram. My
At
DMs are open
at
at Waterboy Productions.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Hey, one last picture I want to show from Jared because, man, look, if you're in the chat and this doesn't look like common Bermuda to you, look, it looks like it to me, but it just has some characteristics of Bermuda that are just awfully strange, okay? I mean, look at the broadness of those leaves. And I know wild Bermuda can have really broad leaves. I mean, it certainly has a Bermuda stolen look. And I'm not, look, I'm not well educated on other types of wild grasses, maybe warm season grasses of the Pacific Northwest. So I'm taking Jared's word on this that they have a lot of common Bermuda around there. But man, if you look at the width of those blades and really kind of how those nodes are really close together, usually common Bermuda, the blades are much further apart. But man, I mean, it certainly has the common Bermuda look going to it. Definitely not a hybrid Bermuda with a medium to more narrow, thin blade. It's that's some thick stuff, man. And if it were me, Jared, you mentioned overseeding, man. Just get that stuff rocking and rolling the way it is. You need one more season like that, and I promise you that stuff will fill in as long as you're not wanting to mow it at a half inch or an inch or super low. Man, that common Bermuda, if you mowed it at an inch and a half to 2 inches and you got it really thick, would look really good. So, man,
Yeah, and you don't need an irrigreen system. You don't need a Ventrac. You don't need a. You don't need it.
Joe, you keep cutting out on us. I think the
Oh,
YouTube gods are saying, "All right, Joe. All right, slow down. Don't give out all the zingers all at once. Hold some for later in the show." Hey, Jared, thanks again, man. That's awesome. That's good stuff. Thank you for sharing it, and Jared. If I didn't answer all your questions or I haven't covered all the topics that you were hoping to kind of to get more details on, please let me know. You can let me know in the chat, or you can send me an email with more questions if you want to. All right, hey, tonight is a night, Joe, where we've looked at Jared's lawn. We're going to look at your lawn next because I think Joe and I have a difference in mentalities. Hey, thank you, Jared. I appreciate you, and you bet, man. I'm always happy to help. Joe and I think, have switched spots from this fall to last fall. Who couldn't have cared less last fall, Joe?
I don't know. I really didn't watch you because I really didn't like you. So to be honest, I'm just being honest. Like
That is true. I mean,
so
true.
I guess you. I don't know.
Oh my gosh!
Sorry.
Last summer,
If you know me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. So
I couldn't have cared less last summer or last fall, and for one reason or another, people didn't like that. I'm not one that if I don't care and I let my lawn go to garbage, that I just disappear off YouTube because I don't have a picture perfect, photo worthy, video worthy lawn to show you. I just keep shooting you straight with what's happening in real life, and Joe's doing that with us this year. Joe, I think it's the saying is actually I couldn't care less, but you have I could care less.
My English was not my best subject in school, but yeah, I could care less what my lawn looks like right now. There's brown spots all over the place, and it's been hot, it's been dry, it's been everything in between. And honestly, I get out there. I get out there almost every night with my kids, and we have a baseball catch. It's such a good feeling when you're a father and you can finally have like a real baseball catch, with your son. And we just get out there. We tear up the grass. Fuck it. Screw it. I don't need a Ventrac. I don't need a Greenworks. I don't need no fucking
So
Time Master shit. Like it looks green, it looks good. It's got a couple bad spots, but I'm not gonna like, I gotta glyphosate my lawn. I gotta tear it up, and I gotta overseed it with everything imaginable.
So,
Like, no, I'm not gonna go fucking nuts. Like everybody, God forbid if your lawn's not perfect, everyone thinks you glyphosate your lawn, and you're gonna be good to go. There's nothing else is gonna grow back in, and lots of times it is gonna grow back in, and it's like, fuck this.
uh, hey, TR Play, welcome. I think I saw you make uh, your presence known earlier in the chat. Welcome to the chat on this lovely Tuesday evening. Joe, TR Play would credit the
The Luba, the Wang.
Luba for.
No, it's not. No, it's not the Luba. It's the Wang.
It's the Wang. Joe's Wang. Joe, TR Play is anxiously awaiting a full blown review of your Luba 1000. So whenever you're ready to really tell us how you feel about it,
I'll get right on that tonight. I'll go out in the yard,
Yeah.
put my headlamp on, and
but Joe,
take a shit on it.
I know you've done very little, it sounds like, to your lawn, but it actually does look pretty good. Maybe a few dry spots, but y'all play catch out in the front yard.
I'm a certified YouTuber, so I know how the angles are on YouTube. Everyone's lawn looks good on a certain angle. You know what I mean? Or when they stripe that long and it hides everything. So yeah.
Well, Joe, Joe, tell us about this angle. That's not your best angle, Joe. That's not your best side. That's not your good side.
That's the ugly right there. That spot right there is the worst spot in my yard. That strip right along the sidewalk there, and it's mostly probably due to it being along the sidewalk and the pavement on the street. But yeah, I think the sprinkler coverage might not be the best right there. I think it's the water is like completely probably missing those areas. But fuck it, I don't care.
Hey, Joe.
I got how I've been busy. I've been very busy. You know how many hats I'll have shipped out, or how many orders I've shipped out.
So last week you had 140 something hats sold.
290.
Do you? No, I'm not even going to ask. I'm not even going to ask. Man, I hope your profit margin on that is worth it, because that's a lot of work.
It is. It's definitely worth it. My post office, they know who I am now.
Oh.
I come in, they go, how many packages today? And I go, only a few. But Thursday, after I drop off this, I'm going to pull in the first time I pulled in the back, there was literally boxes on top of boxes. The whole back of my truck was filled. I think we shipped out that day like 90 something packages.
Well, I think maybe that's why Joe
was nuts.
Maybe that's why Joe's nuts. On a roll tonight. Last week he was like super tired. We both were kind of tired last week. This week Joe's he's on a roll because he's just like, he's on a high right now. He sold 290 hats.
It's actually more than that. A couple people have ordered like 4.
So 290 orders.
Orders, yeah.
Good.
That's just on TikTok.
Dang, that is incredible. That is incredible. Well, Joe, when you're slinging hats like that, it's understandable that you don't have a whole lot of time for the lawn. But
but even if I wasn't doing the hats, I still wouldn't give a shit about the lawn right now. Because honestly,
Joe,
just enjoy the lawn for what it is.
Joe, no, you cannot be in this community and talk about not caring about your lawn. You know that it's one of the commandments of lawn care that you must be. Thou shalt always care about the lawn, and thou shalt always take care of it to the extreme. And if you don't do that, you might as well just get out of here. Like, you have no place in here. You don't belong. You don't belong. You don't belong, Joe.
It's all right. I'm okay with that because this community, we've seen how it's been the last couple years.
Is this where we should part ways on the Budget Wooder Show, Joe, or should we keep Joe around for the dramatic? I hate to use the word hate effect, but the dramatic shots fired effect, should we say? In the beginning, people probably thought I was really making a terrible decision.
It's just bullshit this year. I'm just so sick of the YouTubers right now, and we both talked about it, how slow it is right now, and it's just like, I mean, honestly, I can't fault because I've been very slow on long form videos. But hey, if you're not gonna make long form videos, guess what? A short, it takes a minute to do. There's a lot of free apps out there that you can just do a couple quick things, show off your lawn, do if you're into those stupid little angles or throwing artificial turf on you and rolling around in your grass. I mean, you can easily do that. And I just think like you start a channel. I understand if you lost a passion for it, like I kind of have, but I've gone on to other things, and I'm still shooting short videos. But do something else. Like do like I don't know. I just feel like these people that haven't done any at all or very few long form videos. It's like try something
You
else,
know,
or just say you know what, I'm done. I got out of what I got out of going into this. And just be done with
well,
it.
we mentioned last week, and I see something really interesting. Two things from the chat that I want to bring up. Did I see somebody earlier in the chat with my face as the profile picture, Joe? Did you see that? Who is a 70 ping pro? Uh, is that my face in the man? That is one handsome sob. Whoever that is, 70 ping pro. I'm glad I can make you look better tonight because I know if you're using my picture, you don't want your face in there. That's a good looking mug. I appreciate that. But here's what I would say. I said it last week that I mean, let's be real. We got to face reality that there just aren't a lot of people that really care enough about this hobby to come hang around to just listen to it, to just hang out over the talk of grass mowing, beer, sports, whatever it may be. So the challenge in lawn care keeps getting much more difficult, and even difficult to the. I want some more details on this, Rad Pit. You say that Pete GCI is getting ready to quit YouTube. I had heard this through the grapevine somewhere, but I'm not going to speak up on that because I
Really?
have zero intel on that. I have no anonymous sources telling me that that is going to happen, but I did hear it. Where did you hear this? What is the validity of such a claim? Because, man, I can
It was
speak
probably he. I know where he got it from.
from his video. Okay, well, there you go.
I was gonna say CNN, but I wasn't sure.
I don't, sue me, but I don't watch Pete. Okay, I just don't. I think he's probably a great guy. I just not relatable to me. But I didn't watch it. I didn't know that. But I can tell you from my experience, this has been the slowest fall. Like this fall on YouTube has been, I mean, outrageously slow compared to last year. I mean, they're night
And I
and
like.
day different.
I don't want to hate. I hate like obviously I've been hating on this whole thing tonight, but
You have been
I,
full of it tonight.
and it's just because like, and I kind of hinted at this last year is
Yeah, probably for attention
how
because the attention on lawn care ain't there. I mean, I guess you got to do something. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
I just it's just I don't know. It's just that how much new content, unless you have a yard that you're constantly making changes to landscaping, or you have like a Ryan Nor, you have a property, or and you're doing stuff and it's kind of a vlog style and it's not a tip style. A vlog style, I feel you can keep going. But when you're strictly just giving tips, it's hard
It's
to come
hard.
up with content. And I can't, I hate to like stroke my ego, but with what I'm doing with my hats and the woodworking, like I can come up with new things and new designs. I can't I it's you always have to, you got to come up with new things. It's or I mean you can make
And
the
it
same
doesn't,
things,
but it doesn't matter if
you
people are
know
watching it because you're getting to
yeah, but
fulfill that interest in new designs
I
and
just
creating.
and don't get me wrong, if you like doing something in your yard, I don't know. For me, I'm the kind of person where I'm impatient. And when it's overseed season, like this year, I wouldn't have overseeded on Labor Day like I normally would have. It was 90 degrees. It was hot, humid. I would have just been wasting my money throwing seed down. I would probably waited to probably this weekend to do it, which would have delayed it probably 2 weeks this year. And I'm just an impatient person. I like doing a project like making my hats, my signs that I can do in a couple days, and I get more fulfillment out of it. I don't know. I just think wa- watching grass grow and grass content is like paint drying. Watching paint dry, it's just
Well, what
I don't
I
know.
point to this all the time, and I may be completely way off here. Mr. Rover Kane makes a good point, and that's what we're trying to do with this Budget Wooders show, right? We're trying to make it just a place for you to come hang out and talk about grass, lawn, sports. Who cares? Like, we're all here because we like grass. But unfortunately, Mr. Rover Kane, this is a very soft community, I have figured out, because you wouldn't believe the amount of subscribers and people that just disappear off the face of the earth on my channel. Every Tuesday night we do this show, I lose subscribers. If I say anything in a video that isn't rah rah, kumbaya, everything is love and happiness and rainbows and butterflies, people like hate it. Like, and I lose subscribers like crazy. And it we're not going to stop doing this show just to get subscribers. Like, we're not going to stop being ourselves just to get subscribers. So we're trying to create something here that does provide that for
Well,
people.
TR Play, I mean, it's based off of, I mean, yeah, people are getting views. I mean, if you have 300,000 subs, I mean, you should average what, probably 10,000 views on a video, like, but like we'll talk about this, I think, maybe on on our next live, is the viewership. You'd be surprised. I mean, and we and Travis went back and forth about this. I counted up the views from like the big YouTubers from the last couple years, and I still am at the firm belief that the community has view wise has really dropped. Because if a
Well,
community was
I think
grow,
there's a handful of people that have grown astronomically, but
yeah,
I think
but
there's
it's a little misdeceiving too on with shorts now.
well, but there's a price you have to pay. What people don't realize is what really goes into all this behind the scenes. I mean, it's freaking hard. I mean, just to do this once a week, put up a few shorts a week, put up one video every weekend, and then like work all week long, take care of family, and do like life things. It is really, really
It,
hard. The ones that are really, really growing at it, you don't realize how much time they're putting into it. And good for them.
but
I'm just not willing to
I
put that
love,
kind of time in,
I
Joe.
swear to God, I love the YouTubers that are like, I didn't have enough time to do this, and literally their whole job is to do YouTube. Like, how do you not have time? I don't know. And the other thing that gets under my skin is when I watch videos and someone's like, "Oh, that'd be for a future video." Oh, that'd be for, and then there's never a future video. Like, don't like,
Hey,
just
TR Play, look, TR Play, when I say you're screwed up for liking grass,
yeah, people's interests do change.
I,
Mine's definitely change because
I,
I see the stupidity of like what some people are doing on YouTube.
it, TR Play, when I say that you're screwed up for liking grass, I respectfully include myself in that because trust me, there are days where I look at the lawn, I'm like, gosh, I wish I just didn't care sometimes. I wish that I prayed for it not to rain like other people I know so I wouldn't have to mow, so I wouldn't have to take care of it. But, whatever. I'm screwed up too. Hey, I don't know. Enough with this. I want to move on because I've got some pictures of my lawn in there. But it's interesting. I wonder. Some people might not like hearing about this on the Budget Wooder show, but who cares? Like, it's a topic. It's a conversation that I find interesting, especially as someone who makes videos and tries to get you guys to watch. I want to know what you're watching. What do I got to do to get you to watch more? Because I'm a firm belief, and I may be way off the mark on this, Joe, that I really think that the warm season grasses have a much more difficult time. I mean, you think about where the warm season line is in the United States, and then you think about how many people on YouTube, the population of people interested in cool season, when you talk about transition zone north, Canada, and then you could even talk about Europe and countries across the pond that are predominantly cool season. The population sample size of warm season people that actually care about manicuring or taking care of their lawn is just not very big. It is
Yeah,
just not very big. Hey, TR Play, still waiting on you to send that Hudson my way. And
yeah. I pushed it on John Perry's $40,000 putting green.
so, hey, William, what you said I'm out. I thought you were leaving. What were you saying there? Uh, I'm glad you didn't leave. But yeah, I think that when you talk about warm season, there's just not a lot of people taking care of warm season grass. So tell me I'm stupid if you think I'm stupid, but I think the warm season folks have a much bigger challenge with the YouTube game trying to get their videos seen by more people because there just aren't as many people searching for it. And YouTube bases a lot of their stuff off what searches are for. I mean, because when I watch videos talking about what YouTube analytics should be with your click through rate and your average view duration, especially in the first 30 seconds, it doesn't make sense to me because my average view duration, my click through rate, it just doesn't make sense to me how they're so good and so few people are getting the videos. I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's look at my lawn, Joe. Do you have anything else on that topic?
No, no, I've said enough.
Are you sure you've said enough?
I mean, I could say more, but
Hey,
I don't. We got a few soft people in the chat, so I don't want to piss anybody off.
well, here's the thing. TR Play makes a good comment. What is your standard for success? My standard for success, and I mentioned these other hobbies before, but I follow some sports card collectible and hobby sports card content. And I mentioned it last week. There's a channel in that space that has the same amount of subscribers that I do, and they get 15,000 or more views of video. And I know to you as a viewer of the content, you see thousands of views racking up. But if you're really paying attention to the hobby space as a whole and you're comparing it to other hobby spaces, there is so little action going on in the lawn care space. I mean, you got to look at what somebody's total subscriber count is and then see what their view counts are. And view counts as a percentage of subscribers are low in lawn care compared to other hobbies. They just are. They're just low. You watch sports card radio with 26,000 subscribers, and they'll put over 1,000 people on a live stream. They'll put 15 to 20,000 views up on a video. So when I see other things happening at a much higher rate, a better clip in other hobbies, it's not hard to say, they're here, lawn care's down here. Now I might be speaking in generalities there because you do have guys like Lawn Life and you got Princess Cut and you got some of those other guys that put out videos and they put out bangers and they just go bananas. I mean, it's incredible. But I also know how much time and effort they're putting into those videos. Sure, could I do that kind of stuff? Absolutely. Do I want to? No. Then you could probably say, well, then why are you sitting here bitching about view counts? Because my return on investment, the enjoyment that I get out of YouTube and getting to hang out with you guys once a week and making new friends and sharing what I'm doing in my lawn, the return on my investment with as little time as I spend is good enough for me. This is merely a conversation to pick brains again at the content viewers. Where are you at? Are we off our rockers here and just making excuses? Or do we actually have a real conversation to talk about? I don't know. No, sports card radio guys, go look at them. Go look at the quality of their content. I want somebody next show to come back and report on what they watch from sports card radio. Their videos are, the quality and value of them in the production value is less than mine. They are like that. It's just organic, real natural content. Go watch it. It's incredible. I'm losing track of some of these comments, but go check out Sports Card Radio and the production value of their content. the reason why people show up is because they really care about that hobby. And they want to hear what people are talking about when it comes to that conversation. In lawn care, like Joe mentioned earlier, they don't care what you got to talk about. Give me some tips. If you're not telling me tips, I'm out. That's the only value you provide for me. They bounce just like that when you don't give them tips. What are you saying, P? What was it? P-E, peg junk? Are you agreeing with that? Man, I watch people in the sports card hobby. They just watch the content. They do. They don't care if it's what it's about. They just watch the content. All right, let's talk about my lawn, Joe. I got some pictures of my lawn. We talked about off the top of the show that things were kind of starting to turn more fall-like here, and we've had some cooler temperatures. We've had about a half an inch of rain every third or fourth day or so, so really nicely spaced apart rain periods. And man, I tell you what, last year I didn't care about my lawn because I had so many things going on with the new house. This year, it's not that I am overly caring. It's just that I'm doing the basics and I care enough to take care of it a little bit. And just that little bit that I'm doing to take care of it is paying off hugely. I mean, it is paying off big time. I'm only mowing like on Wednesdays and Saturday or Sunday. I'm mowing twice a week, taking rain when I get it. I put down a little bit of fertilizer, and I tell you what, man, that's all it takes. I'm rotary mowing this again, Joe. I've already put the Earthwise 7-blade back up in the garage. It's retired again.
There's those clouds in the back. They're really big. Are those like, what do you call them?
Cumulus clouds. This is a side piece. I mean, this is, remember folks, this sod was put down in June 29th. This Bermuda sod was laid. And I have not used one single bougie fancy product on it. 1010 all-purpose fertilizer, generic brands, water, and lots of mowing, twice a week mowing. And I'm telling you, that's all it takes. Does it have that perfectly cut, scissor-like, real mowed Bermuda grass look? But no, it looks awesome.
He's lying, folks. He uses Super Juice. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, the Dirt Booster, the Super Juice, the Green Charge, the Sea Kelp. Look, I've got a like, some people hide their booze in their house. I hide all my lawn care products so people don't figure out that I'm just a fraud. I'm a total fraud. I'm not a budget lawns guy. I'm a fraud.
It looks painted to me a little bit.
But you know what? When I made a video about the sod this past summer, when I first posted it, somebody commented, "You paid for that sod? Ouch!" And all I could say was, "Sounds like somebody without a lot of confidence." Hey, Rad Pitt, here's one for you. People want to know where the suckers thumbnail came from tonight. The thumbnail and the title tonight came from two places. One, my kids were licking on these gigantic lollipop suckers this past weekend when I was making the thumbnail, and I was sitting there looking at them. I was like, "Oh, suckers!" And so that was kind of some inspiration for the thumbnail. But also too, someone sent me, well, actually left a comment on one of my previous post informing me of Doc's new lady out there mowing the yard at the farmhouse in some really short shorts and a tank top, I think it was. I hadn't seen the video, but I had to go look because I was filled in on this. And it's just weird. And it's just weird. And the suckers in the comment that are just Doc suckers, like, and they sit there and they're, "Ooh, we need some more." The creepy middle-aged to old men that are in the comment section drooling over a female. Is that what we have to do in the lawn care community, is start exploiting women? We already exploit...
if you want to call that a woman. I don't know what her pronouns are.
But,
I
don't look... to Pat's point, it's Barb's sister. That would be hilarious if it was. I don't know who it was. I don't know the story. I'm not going to pretend to know the details.
Who's Barb?
But it's it
Ba ba
it's
ba
just
ba 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 ran ba 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 ba
it's
ba ba ran.
it's just gross. In the comments, I just had to go through some of the comments. Like, I mean, people in the lawn care space already exploit the disabled veterans, the elderly, the people who couldn't take care of their overgrown lawns, and now, oh yeah, it was a personal trainer, Rusty. You're right. You're exactly right, and that's what I thought of. That's one of the inspirations behind Suckers. I was like, you suckers, y'all fall for that stuff. If you only knew, if half the people only knew half of the game that's played in all of this. Okay. Okay. All right. This grass was laid back onto my grass. The grass was laid back in June 29th. It is being rotary mowed with the Troy-Bilt TB130 at about, I think, around 1.5 inches. And it looks awesome. I mean, it really does look awesome, especially if you saw what it looked like when it was first laid. Now look at the backyard. Look at the backyard. If you remember what it looked like, I will say, I think Ron Hedger. Well, let's not get started on the Golf Course Lawn Academy, Jared. You know what? I will say this, Joe. It's I don't know. I think that's a topic saved for another time. Since
I really don't know who Barb is. Super T. I don't watch Doc. I haven't watched him. I used to have him. I used to be subscribed to him early on, but like I have no means to watch an old man with a beard and and just like I have no means for it.
You know why they're great guys, Jared? Because they have a link for you to click on for every single non-issue in your lawn. Something you don't need to pay for something for, they got a link for it. Something you don't need to buy, they got a link for it. Instead of just telling you real honest agronomics like turf grass science, there I am, Joe. You want to hear the turf grass science, go listen to the Grass Factor. They point out on their burn and returns, they point out all the nonsense that you hear. We might joke around about it, but we don't have the background and education to really back up the jokes with real science talk. Go listen to them. They'll open your eyes to all the people selling products and how much they've got people fooled, how much the suckers will just click and buy because they said you need this when you really, really don't. You don't need 99% of it. But back to my back lawn. If you remember last year, this whole back side of the retaining wall where the French drain is, I had just let it go dormant early. I mean, like we had a very hot, dry fall last year, and I just didn't care. I was so busy with life and other things. I just let it go. And look at what just simple cultural practices has resulted in this year. Simple. Mowed it, watered it, 0.5 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 of fertilizer just a week or so ago, and that's the end result. It's awesome. But here's what I am pissed about, y'all. I have a new friend at night that is really starting to drive me nuts, and I'm hearing that other people are going through the struggles with this critter, especially in the South right now. You people up north, y'all are spared of the nastiest piece of roadkill you can ever come across, the armadillo. But this hillside in my backyard, along this fence, you can't tell now in this picture because I have to come out every 4 or 5 nights or so. I must have a family of armadillos that is completely ravaging my mulched areas. They're coming from the brush and the field behind me, and they are just, it looks like somebody came into my backyard in the darkness of night and rototilled my mulch areas. And I have to go out when I get home from work and clean it up a little bit. Like they are destroying it. They are destroying it, and it's really making me hesitant that I had plans to plant this hillside over here coming up at the end of the month, and now I'm like, I don't want to plant it until the armadillos don't come for at least a couple weeks. Because just my luck, I'd go spend money on some. I'm going to put some evergreen junipers in, and they would come in and just completely take their nasty little claws and big old teeth and tear it all up. It's just absolutely disgusting. But I come out in the morning and check everything, just fingers crossed, hoping that they haven't done any damage. And it's like every third or fourth night they come out. I blocked their entrances on the back fence with some cement blocks. Now there are a lot of other places for them to come in, but I'm hoping that just blocking their favorite spots is going to just start to turn them, or they've eaten enough and they're moving on to somebody else's yard. Because here's the thing, I guess it could be worse. They could be in the grass right now. They'll tear up your lawn. But since the mulch is softer and easier for them to dig into, they prefer the mulch spaces over the grass because the clay soil's so hard. It's hard for them to get into, to get grubs and get earthworms and other insects. So they'll just completely ravage the mulch spaces. A friend of mine, hey William, a friend of mine does have a trap that he said if I was interested in borrowing his trap, he would let me use his trap. Put like a rotten apple or a nasty old banana in there. And those things are so blind, they go off of their smell predominantly, that if you put some like rotten piece of fruit in there, they'll almost just walk right in out of curiosity. So I might have to do that. But man, I wish I would have taken a picture of the hillside before I went out and kind of cleaned it all back up with my feet and hands, because it looked horrible. This picture was just taken today, and if you'd have seen it yesterday afternoon, it was disgusting. All right, so
It's like a vibrator went off in your
dude,
in your bed there.
I'm telling you, it was. And my wife is sitting there trying to.
I hate when that happens.
My wife is sitting there trying to tell me, "Oh, I'd love to see them out there at night. I just picture them out there like rolling around and having fun and playing." I'm like, "No, they're disgusting." Did you know that armadillos also carry the bacteria naturally that that causes leprosy? So I told one of my coworkers about this, and he's like, "Oh man, you wore gloves, didn't you? You're gonna get leprosy." He's got me all worried about getting leprosy. All right.
Just put a mask on. It solves everything.
Joe, you're a genius. PPE, a mask, a hazmat suit, a shield over the 3 masks.
In 95.
In 95. That's the only way I'm not going to get leprosy. I'm not going to. Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're not going to have the Budget Wooder show tonight because I'm broken out in sores. All right, here we go. Hey, Joe, are you sure you still have
enough? The ouchie.
Do you still have enough hate in you tonight, guys? We are over our hour, which we've been trying to hit that hour mark. But since we're not going to be here for the next 2 weeks, Joe, you cool since we're a little bit behind schedule tonight?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Joe's been on one tonight, and no, we can't skip his hot take tonight, even though he's probably given us plenty of hot takes so far tonight. But why not one more, Joe? One more. Give it to us.
Yeah, it's just fucking grass people.
What irked you about this picture, Joe? What is the thing?
It's not the picture. It's just like.
Is this like a?
I literally Googled like dumbass lawn pictures, and this was one of the things that popped up. An old guy sitting on the lawnmower with his umbrella.
Is this how you picture the lawn care community?
Sometimes, yeah. Particularly the ones that like love to throw down seed and it just get washed away, and they're like, "Oh, we needed this." It's like, just side your fucking lawn, like, or the people that like, it's for a future video, or the people that, like I said earlier, they're using a Ventrac lawnmower on their residential property just to make content because somebody brought the Ventrac to
Joe,
your house.
you're hating on Pops here. You gotta love the guy. Look at him. He's got the old school
Oh yeah,
John
I mean,
Deere. Look.
retired probably.
He's
He's probably got nothing better to do. You know,
and,
he's probably one of our watchers right
and
now.
and look, a little bit of
He's one of our 92
a
percenters. You
little
know.
bit of wet stuff falling from the sky wasn't going to hurt his day. He look. Let's say it's Tuesday for him, and Tuesday's his mow day. He's going to mow, and you got to respect the man for the pink and white umbrella. I mean, you know, man, what a
I'm just
he's
like,
the hero we all need, Joe.
he is. I just some of the shit that I've seen lately. I'm just like, it took you 4 weeks to put in a sprinkler system in your lawn, and like we really care. Like you're, oh hey guys, we're doing this today. We're digging trenches in our lawn. You know, it's like, but it's taking you 4 weeks to put a sprinkler system in that you probably got for free from the company. But I'm
Hey,
just like some of the stuff lately. I'm just shaking my head. Like I I don't know.
hey, TR Player, you still in the chat? I want. Look, I saw something that Peg Junk said. Real talk. Look, it's real talk. I don't think the real talk has really taken off yet in the lawn care community, Joe. There are a few others that have done it, but the real talk hasn't. The audiences haven't caught up to the real talk yet. And TR Play,
You want you want real talk? I've had 3 different products sent to me this year, and I refuse to do videos on them. And they ask me all the time, "When are you going to do a video? When are you going to do a video?"
it sucked.
And
I'm not doing one.
and that's what I say to them. I said, "It first of all, the one thing they sent me was a push aerator thing.
Ooh, is it that wheel thing?
Yeah, and you put like a cinder block on it, and you push it.
Oh, okay.
I can't follow the directions. Literally, it's like Chinese. It's like I don't understand it. Like I'm not going to spend an hour of my time or 2 hours of my time trying to figure out how to put this together. And then another thing was a 4-way trimmer, edger, chainsaw thing, and it just sounds horrible. This engine just sounds like a toy. I mean, it just sounds horrible. And and it has like no balls.
And that's
It's just like I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go online and make a video just because they sent me something and say, "Hey, I got this sent to me and I'm going to make a video on it." No, like if it actually works and it's good, I will make something on it. But I'm not going to waste my time and waste other people's time. Or if something is really bad and I'm seeing other people say how great it is, I'm going to voice my opinion, like the Gardena hose rail that's made in Germany.
That's exactly why I have never done all that stuff, because I'm not going to sell my soul to pump up products that I don't really care about or like just to get the free stuff. But TR Play, if you're still out there,
it's not so much I got this for free and it sucks. I some of the stuff that I've gotten for free in the past, I've done good reviews on, and I've voiced my opinion. Like that, I compared the Landsea peat moss spreader to the Easy Do last year. The Easy Do was a piece of shit. It was junk, and I actually got rid of it because I don't need it.
William, I'm laughing at that. William says, "Shoot, I'd sell out quick." TR Play, I've tried to say this. If you're out there, here's why I really want you and anyone else, go watch Sports Card Radio. The reason why they're absolutely killing it in that space is because they just shoot people straight. It's real talk. Like, you might not like what they had to say. It's like the guys I listen to on Sports Talk Radio. They had a guy call in yesterday bragging about Texas beating Alabama. The fact that that guy can call in and they're sitting there taking jabs at each other is what the whole point is. This community is one of those where if you were to call in and somebody said something that hurts your pool wheel feelings, you just leave it because you don't like to have your feelings hurt.
John, you're a great supporter of the show, but you're the kind of, I hate to be this way, but you're the kind of people that kind of piss me off, because if it's so easy for you to do content, go on YouTube and create a video. it's not the 1, 2, 3 you create a video. It takes time. You have to film it. And lots of times you're doing it yourself. You don't have a production crew, like the lawn tools or other people out there. Like it's harder than you think. So if you think it's so easy to put a video together, by all means, go put a video together of your lawn and do it.
Hey,
Like that's the kind of things that just get under my skin sometimes, and I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel.
but you know,
I
it
give
is
the
hard.
people credit
It is
that
hard.
do film, but I mean, be original a little bit too when you're filming stuff. I whatever. I just
TR Play, we're so happy for you. TR Play likes to come in here every single week and flex his tiny little biceps about his Hudson Star like we don't know that he's a crazy guy that spent $2,200 on a push reel mower. Good for you. If you'll send me $2,200, I will buy one and then I'll report back to you on what it's like to push it across my Bermuda grass lawn. And I'll even put this really nice Go Hogs Go Woo Pig Suey emblem in my lawn because they're about to take the BYU Cougars and eat them for supper this Saturday night. BYU versus Arkansas. We'll see who's got. Lucky for UTR Play, we don't have a show next week. We can't even talk about it. Don't worry, we'll hit it 3 weeks from now when we're back with it wasn't even long as in my heart. We'll talk about the BYU Arkansas game in 3 weeks. All right, look, folks, we hope you like the straight real talk. Like look, if you're out there and we ever say anything that hurts your poor little feelings, it's okay. People say things that don't hurt our feelings, and we still sit in front of the camera every single week and take our licks, take the slaps in the face, and we roll with the punches. That's all we're asking people to do, and that's kind of what makes Sports Card Radio such a unique channel in the sports card space. And we're trying to say that we think there's room for that here in the lawn care community. That you hear it in sports, you hear it in so many other genres. What has made these lawn care people so soft? It's like the I don't even want to get into politics, but it's like the side that if you say anything about them, they try to cancel you. Come on, that's not how things roll around here. We're gonna keep it genuine and as authentic as possible. Joe, because feelings get in the way. I don't know. I don't. Maybe I should have more feelings from time to time. Maybe I should be a little bit more sensitive. But that ain't me, and I can't pretend to be that way. All right, Joe. Hey, you want to fudge rounds? Taxes ought not to pay. Joe, you want to hit us with a 5 with 5, or do you want to wrap it up right here?
yeah, we could do a 5. I got one.
Okay.
It'll be one that probably not everyone agrees with. So, top 5 politicians of all time. No, I'm kidding.
I was about to. I was out.
So I was watching some football, not American football. Some soccer.
Joe, we've gone from like over 30 to 24. This better be dynamite.
So I was watching Lionel Messi was playing LAFC, and Will Ferrell is a part owner of LAFC. So I put top 5 Will Ferrell movies. Number 5, Old School, Frank the Tank.
Okay, you're going Will Ferrell movies, Old School. Okay.
Number 4, Anchorman.
Okay.
Number 3, Elf.
Worthy.
Number 2, Talladega Nights.
Okay.
Shake and Bake. And number 1,
I like John C. Reilly though. Now you see.
Yeah, I know. I love
Magic Man.
Number
when he calls Will Ferrell in the middle of the night because he can't figure out how to get the speakers to work.
Yeah. I love that movie. Number 1 is Step Brothers.
Yes, yeah. He's one of those comedians where at first I really don't like the movies because they're kind of slapsticky, silly, not that funny. but the more you watch them, the humor really starts to come out more. The first time I watched Step Brothers, I was like, this is stupid. Whatever.
I actually like the other guys with Mark
Oh, it was
Wahlberg.
funny.
I thought that was pretty funny.
When he has to carry the wooden gun.
And he goes, pop a cap, and he shoots the ceiling. I just.
Hey, George, I don't know how long you've been in here. George made a comment, not to get off the 505, Joe, but he said 8-minute video takes us on average 50 hours to produce. I don't know if you were here for that, George, but we specifically called you and guys like Lawn Life out because of the value of the production value you guys put into your videos. And what the average person does not know watching is that fact. They have no idea. And kudos to you for like doing that. People say all the time, well, if you want to grow more and you want more views and you want more subscribers, then you need to up your production game. Don't make excuses here or don't make excuses there. You got to improve the production value of your videos. And the fact of the matter is I'm one of those rare people that knows how much effort you put into those videos, and guys like Lawn Life. Like, I've been in broadcasting and video production since college in 2004, 2005, back when I used to edit on tapes from a DV cam and a tape deck to another tape deck with 2 TV monitors, rolling a thing, pushing a preview button, hitting a red record button, and watch it go from one tape to the next tape. That's how I learned to edit, was tape-to-tape editing. And then I had to teach myself nonlinear editing. But I am one of the few that understands how much time that takes, and I'm just not willing to put it in. I have no interest in spending that much time for YouTube. Like, and that's no knock on anybody that does, because the results speak for themselves. You put into it, you'll get out of it what you want. But for me, it's just the return on investment for the little time I put in is worth it. It's worth it for me to sit here and shoot the bull on Tuesday nights and spend a couple hours on a weekend putting together a video that I shoot, edit, thumbnail, post to YouTube, all in about 2 or 2.5 hours. It's worth it for me. So you really kind of got to decide for the people that are creators out there, where do they draw the line? And for me, it's exactly, John L., it's not going to be a job. I already work a job, wife, family, kids. I am not creating another job for myself. All right? Joe, that's a good top 5 with 5. I like your top 3. I think those would be my top 3: Elf, Talladega Nights, and Step Brothers.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that.
See, we got the best people, Joe. John, I mean, we've talked about it before. Bill and I have had our times in the past where we disagreed on stuff and we butt heads. Bill's still here. John, you and Joe didn't agree, or maybe you do agree, but just didn't realize it a moment ago. And look, people still hang around. That's why you guys are the best. We hope you've hit the thumbs up button. We hope, folks, that you will help us grow this by sharing it with your family and friends. We don't even have to tell you to comment in the chat. Y'all have done that superbly tonight. Joe, do you have any parting words for us on this evening?
Just go Birds.
Go Birds. Hey, reminder, no show next week or the week after. We'll be back. What is that? The first week of October, Joe? October 3rd, and that will be our giveaway show. So keep that in mind. It won't be the last show of the month because there won't be one this month. It will be the first show of next month. All right, y'all. Thank you. We appreciate all your kind words and support. We say it every week. We just show up here on camera, and perhaps we make fools of ourselves. Perhaps we provide some sort of valuable entertainment or lawn care information for you. Regardless, we have fun doing it. But if it weren't for y'all, it would be no show. It would just be me and Joe talking on camera, and that would be way less fun. That's all I got, y'all. It's been a pleasure, as always. We'll see you back here for another episode of the Budget Wooder Show, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central, 3 weeks from today. Until then, take care. Peace out.